Okay, ready? So I am very happy that we have one of the senior, you can say independent financial advisor, CFP practitioner with us. I request to stop your working right now for 5 minutes. Okay, please be with us because training is equally important and same time learning from the successful people, those who are your senior, is also equally important. So that's the reason I take it a pen and I have invited some 15 odd people, okay, and they are also having their busy schedule and came to meet you to share for the outstation participant, video learning participant or classroom participant. So I quickly share, you can say quick introduction to participant. Is Mr. Samir, independent financial advisor. Keyur Shah comes from Surat, again MBA and independent financial advisor. Nagesh, you know, CFP spent integral pathway. Sally is also CFP path. She took a sabbatical break after marriage and now came to complete CFP certification regular pathway. Amit ji, he has already completed 4 exam and now he is going for 5th exam. He is Mr. Mohish Damani. Okay, and I just quickly share what our expectations from you. You can share your professional introduction, your total work experience, what motivated to you to do a CFP certification, how you have completed the journey of certification. You completed, if I can recollect, in 2012 itself.
Right, yes.
So 13, 14 and 15, 3 years he has completed, and today he is into 4th year. Okay, and I am very happy that he is also one of my financial participant also, and right now my advisor in mutual fund. I was also having CFP, lot of buyers in investing in mutual fund, because as you know that some name like example HDFC, Reliance is like a home name, so you bias. But Mohish removed my bias. I diversified into example some new AMC also. Okay, and today I am very happy that he is helping me in my investments also.
No, like I would like to thank Keyur Bhai because he has reposed that faith in me, and that is how like I have got a chance to manage his personal financial assets as well. Let me tell you, it's been quite enduring and quite fulfilling to be in this profession for me at least, and I'm sure it will be the same for you too after completing your CFP examinations. For me, because it's been like I'm in the 3rd, 4th year of my practice. By qualification I'm an engineering graduate, but I'm a non-finance professional. I am not from a finance background. I was working for a petrochemical company and then with a private bank, and then that is when I thought of doing this CFP when I was working with the bank, because being in a bank I was not having that satisfaction of maintaining that customer or giving that good advice to the client. This is what we generally tend to do, right? Like when we are in any profession, say in a bank, in wealth management or whatever, we want to give our fullest to the customer, but that is where I was not completely satisfied. So then I decided to do CFP. I understood what CFP is from Keyur Shah, and after a lot of market research as to who are the education providers in this field, I zeroed upon Mr. Keyur Shah because, okay, I zeroed upon him initially. Then I had a meeting with him, 2-3 meetings I had with him. I understood the process as to how he is going to teach me or how he is going to take me through the CFP certification finally. Like as I said, like I'm from a non-finance background, so I did all the modules. I started from the very first module to clear my concepts. But after meeting him, I said, okay, no. The way in which he articulated as to how he is going to take me through the process, the examination process, and the things were very clear in his mind, which made me very clear as to, okay, to zero on him. I did not go to anyone else after that, and this is how we started our journey. I started my journey, and let me tell you, like with his guidance, with his practical approach, I was able to, like you all are doing today, like going through the practice, going through the tough part. That is how I'll say today I'm much more happy and satisfied that I am practicing CFP today and practicing in the right earnest. This again is very important because probably maybe no one will teach you or give you this kind of guidance of how to use a calculator, because this again becomes very important. This again is an important part for CFP professional, because like when you are in front of a client, you cannot tell the client, okay sir, I'll get back to you, I'll calculate this and get back to you. No, you cannot say that. Then probably there may be a chance that you lose client confidence. Client might say, okay, he is not clear in his concepts and maybe he needs to revisit, he needs to go to someone else, he needs to ask someone else for the things and then get back to me. So he's not clear in his concepts himself. So what he's going to guide me or advise me. So this becomes very important. So the moment there's a doubt query, you just pick up the calci, and whenever you are doing this in front of a client and giving him the right solution there and there itself, then he is definitely happy and he imposes much faith, more faith in you. On the as I said, on the path, on the process thing, like I did it module wise, and again each and every module was thoroughly explained in terms of basic concepts. Basic concepts is again very important because probably maybe you all would be coming from a financial background, but maybe as I said I'm not. So for me concepts was very important, because after you know the concepts, you can put it into the perspective whenever you want. But firstly, concepts learning is very important. So this is what he taught me, this is what Mr. Keyur Shah taught me, and it is still very much live in me. Whatever he taught me, whatever methodology he gave me is very much live, and I am practicing it to the fullest, I will say. Right, and this is what is helping me in my, and like I was working with ICICI Bank, but then I thought of doing it on my own. See, like I was there with ICICI Bank for 4 years, but then I thought, okay, no, let me do something on my own, which again gives me satisfaction. And I'm a true believer in relationship. I believe in customer relationship. So this is what has taken me forward, and this is what will take you forward in your personal and professional lives. Because without relationship, definitely there is nothing which you can achieve either in your personal or professional lives. If a client is happy about your advice, if you are sharing a good relationship with him, then definitely you will be much more happier to pass on references, contacts, which again will build up your database. So I have believed in relationship. Likewise, Mr. Keyur Shah also believes in relationship, as in it was not only that till the time I was doing the course with him, he supported me, but even after, during the exams, and even after, like whenever I wanted to clear any of my doubts, he was there all the time to clear my doubts. Whichever day of time I called him, he was available, and he answered, or he replied to my query very promptly, and which cleared my doubts. So this is again the good part, best part which I found in him. Probably this is I wouldn't have got this kind of support anywhere else had I gone to some other education provider, but this is what he has provided me, and I'm sure he's giving the same to y'all. So as himself, like I too believe in making or developing a good relationship which takes us all forward in our personal and professional lives. And definitely I intend to continue practicing CFP for many more years, because of the inherent or in-depth knowledge which he has provided me technically, and which again I am putting it into perspective during my personal and professional career, which is helping me to develop myself, as well as I am able to give good advice to my clients, which is again helping me in building a strong rapport relationship and building the kind of AUM or building the kind of the revenue which I'm wanting to earn. Like finally, like what I'll say is like I've never gone, or even one should not go behind what is it that I will earn initially. Should think about the customer first. If I am able to give right advice to the client, to the customer, then definitely the client will come running behind you, or it'll follow you. It'll follow you all the time. You'll not go anywhere else, because let me tell you, like there is no dearth of advisors or distributors per se in the market. But being a CFP, it gave me an advantage. Maybe like I am one in the crowd. And people can identify, distinguish whenever a CFP, whenever I go to a client, he is easily able to segregate between me, between a CFP and other distributors per se. And definitely all my clients are happy, and I am happy because I completed my CFP, and importantly did it with Mr. Keyur Shah, which gave me a thrust, a boost to start this journey of being on my own. Because before that I was working. I had never thought of coming to this side of being a professional, but then I taken the risk with the knowledge that okay, I am fully equipped to go ahead and give my fullest. So that is how I have come on to this side, and I'm sure like even you'll all succeed with his right apt guidance in your personal and professional lives. So I wish you all the best. Thank you.
So I know better you. So let me ask one simple question. So since last 3 years you completed CFP. So how many clients you have prepared the comprehensive financial plan and charged the fee? Approximately number of clients.
Yeah, on the fee part, everyone is skeptical as to how do I charge, or how do I tell a customer that this is the fee I'm going to charge you for making a financial plan. But I never worried on that part. Right from day one, I had this part in mind that I am going to charge my customer fees, and even on the same, I had contrary. On the other side, I had confidence that client would pay me. Why? Because I had that confidence. I was equipped with CFP or the knowledge of personal financial planning, which when I go in front of a client and talk to him on the perspective, definitely he is going to agree, and he is going to get impressed with what I am telling him, and also what I am going to do for him, more importantly. So like I have planned or I have made plans for about 20 odd customers. In all, I have 90 customers. I have made financial plan for 20 customers, and initially I had started with 5,000, then I migrated to 10,000, and now 15,000. As in when I got the confidence of making the plan or reviewing it year on year, I have increased it this year. This year I am charging 15,000 to all my clients.
Okay, and again, specialty is that he is following the 5-step process. He
Yes.
prepares with the pen, paper, and
I'll just show you.
he is preparing better than me.
No, it's not that, but I'm following you, I'll say. I'm following your guidance. This is the manual plan for one of my clients which I have made.
If you can open and show some timeline, etc.
Sure.
We don't want content, but just for
Definitely. This is the initial family data which I have taken. Again, these are the assumptions which have to be made. These are the timelines. These are the timelines for the goals the client has in mind, or which have been discussed with the client. This is about retirement planning, coming to the goals one by one. And this, as you can see, this is the review. This is the review for the second year. So likewise, this was for the first year, the initial year, and this is the review for the second year. Likewise, education part.
Children's education.
Children's education. This is the higher education. So like I have not delved into any software kind of a thing, because initially I was looking at some softwares, but then I thought it will not make any sense, because initially I'll make the plan in the software and give it to the client, but probably he won't understand as to how I have made it, and for me I won't understand on my review as to what I had considered and what not. So that's the reason I thought, no, this is the best thing, which again you all are doing it today, and probably I'll tell you should follow it for your professional lives as well, because this is the best thing. Whatever you want, you have assumed, or whatever you have told the customer, you can put it on the paper and give it to the client. So once initially when I make the plan, I give a copy of this to the client for his purpose, and also I keep the original or the Xerox with me for my purpose. Then every time on review, or review can be done either annually or I do it half yearly, because that makes more sense. You are in touch with the client at all times, I will say, or the client is in touch with you, or he at least thinks of you all the time when you meet at least half yearly to review things, because there could be small things which either could have changed during the 6 months. So the client, at least you need to take an update on that and put it in the plan, and this is how I do it. So then it again builds a strong relationship rapport with the client, and I'm sure like he doesn't want to go anywhere after that, and also like you stand a fair chance of getting good references, because if your client is either a businessman or a salaried person, all my clients are salaried people. I don't have any business person as my client, but all are salaried. So then I stand a good chance of getting good references from him as well. Not knowingly, but unknowingly I do the good thing on my part, and indirectly I keep getting things. So ऐसे बोलते ना कि like you don't expect anything out of it, but you just keep on doing your part. You just play your part, and things will start coming to you. This is what I believe in. This is what has been happening with me. So then after initial point, I do not have to either go for any kind of prospecting or anything. I keep getting references and clients, and that is how it is.
Good, very good. Congratulations. So any queries, if you have,
Please.
We can discuss.
Yeah, I want to ask you that financial planning is HNI and upper middle class won't matter that fees of 10 to 15,000. I'm just asking that do you ask for lower middle class also? Like if some lower middle class people come and we ask him to pay fees of 10,000 or 5,000 XYZ amount, he must be
No, like that time you have to be descriptive in your judgment as to, like, you can charge a lower fee from him, but at least he will be satisfied when you make a plan, when you discuss the plan importantly with him, when you make him understand that this and this is the thing, and this is where you are today, and this is where you need to go. So once you make the plan, discuss it with him, he will, I think, be much more happier. Even if you are charging a lower amount of fee, it won't matter. Why? Because then you would have gained, or you would gain confidence from him, and this is how probably he'll stick to you, give you more references. Maybe tomorrow he might give you a bigger reference. Who knows?
Yeah.
So that is how it is. So it is descriptive. It was descriptive on my part as well. It was not that I always stuck to this number. No. If I thought, okay, the person maybe is not able or not willing to part with that much of amount, I charge him a lower amount, so that at least he comes into the ambit, he is happy about what he's doing or what he's paying for, and that is how we start on a relationship.
Any other queries?
And also, like, you shouldn't mind or get bogged down by the regulations, because probably you'd be hearing a lot about regulations changing every day in and day out. but you shouldn't get bogged down. For me, I have not got bogged down. I do not get into any discussion, or I am not in a group. Although I am in a WhatsApp group, 2-3 groups wherein people keep on discussing कि आज MFI ने ये कर दिया, SEBI is going to do this, SEBI is maybe they are going to charge on the service tax from our commission and those stuff, but I never get into all those stuff. I keep on doing my work, keep on building my client base, or keep on doing my things, and that is how it is, and that is what gives me confidence. I don't get into the negatives of it, because ultimately getting into the negatives will only do harm instead of doing good. So let us be on our goal, let us be on our path. And I will say, like, lastly, like, this is a fulfilling profession which I have, which I am into, and definitely you all will be into tomorrow. Because when I say okay, I'm going to fulfill your goals or client's goals, definitely I'm doing something good for him or her, knowingly or unknowingly. Because otherwise the client wouldn't have known what is the corpus he requires or he would require for retirement, what is the child education corpus he would require, higher education, or XYZ things. He would just have been investing into LIC or other stuff, but he wouldn't have known as to what is the amount I need to gather and what is it I need to invest today. So we are ultimately helping him to achieve his goal, and definitely he'll be thankful, and he will remain indebted to us for all his lives.
And you keep reviewing everything every year?
Every year or
every year.
half yearly, wherever it's possible.
Okay.
Because again, like we sometimes do have a thought, or we are skeptically meeting clients on a regular basis. हम लोग ऐसे सोचते हैं कि okay, no, let me skip him, let me not meet him, because at times things would be difficult. Maybe stock market is not doing good, or maybe not doing good. So then you would say, okay, like the fund value has gone down, and if I go to him today, he's definitely going to be blast and those stuff. But I do not do that. I do not run away from my responsibilities. I go to him, meet him. This is the situation, this is what we had discussed that time. Today this is what the situation is, and so you need not worry about whatever investments have been made. We have whatever investments we have made are for longer tenure, is for a longer tenure. We need not worry about this particular situation today, because we have whatever we have done is for tomorrow. So this is the confidence we have to give to the client, and that is how it is. That is what it is.
I just want to know your procedure, in process. If I am your client,
Yeah.
so what is the process?
Let's see and discuss offline.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Keyur Shah, for calling.
Okay. You can share the Mohish number. I'll share you. Okay. So thank you, Mohish bhai, for coming on a short notice and sharing your
My
mind
pleasure.
discussion.
That's my pleasure.
So
That's
thank
my
you
pleasure.
very much.
Thank you.
Keep in touch.
Thank you.
Now sweets बनता है. हाँ.